All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Less Than Yesterday show. I'm Joe Braymeyer, and I've got three extra special guests with me this morning. Here in the shop, we have Grayson Hartung. Hi.
Hello.
We've got Logan Schnickloth.
Hello.
And we've got Ian Harsh.
Hi.
Ian, thanks for putting this together. I know you had reached out to me, and I'm always looking for guests, and so you said, hey, I got some dudes that can come in and talk about dude stuff, so absolutely. Thank you. As a quick reminder, I want you guys to keep the mics nice and close as you can. For the hearing impaired, us old people love to watch Facebook, so the majority of our viewers these days are on the Facebook, so thank you for coming in. I want to kind of just get to know you guys a little bit here before we dive into the meat and potatoes. Grayson, I got you here first. Have you always been from Wilton?
Yeah, my whole life. My mom's family's from here, and my dad's family's from Muscatine, but they lived in Wilton for a bit. So
did either of your parents go to Wilton?
Yeah, my mom went to Wilton, and she graduated in '92.
Okay.
And my dad went to Wilton for a bit, but then he graduated in Muscatine. Gotcha.
High school sweethearts or hooked up later?
They met after through like friends.
Wonderful. What was your mom's maiden name?
Sherwood.
First name?
Susan.
Susan Sherwood. A Wilton grad, 92.
Mm-hmm.
Shouts out Big Suze.
Yeah. What up, Suze? Is she watching right now?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Good. Got Folgers in the cup watching the show. Logan, how are you?
I'm great.
Schnickloth is kind of a name around this area. There's a bunch of Schnickloths.
It is. It stems from like the Bennett area, is where my version of the name comes from.
Okay.
I know there's like one with like two E's. It's really weird.
Turn Logan up a little bit. Logan, wherever Logan's at. Logan's up. Okay, Logan, you got to keep that mic a little bit closer to you.
My bad.
Is that a question that people hit you with? Like when they hear your last name is Schnickloth, do they go, oh, are you related to so-and-so?
Yeah, more often than you would think. I once met a guy while I was taking my MSF course, I met a guy named John Schnickloth, not related to me at all, not even a little bit. He actually has a grandfather named Jim Schnickloth, which is my grandfather's name. We're not related, even a little bit.
Because it's a unique last name.
Yeah, it's a unique last name, but it's everywhere.
Yeah. That's funny. Because I had to fight the urge to say, because I know some Schnickloths, and I had to fight the urge to say, well, are you related to blah, blah, blah. You know what? I'm going to scratch the itch. I'm going to scratch the itch anyway.
Give them to me. What?
Charlie Schnickloth.
No
Betty
clue.
Schnickloth.
Not even a little bit.
Jeannie Schnickloth.
That one sounds familiar, but I'm not sure.
The DeWitt area. But...
Yeah.
Anyway,
maybe.
Shout out to Charlie Schnickloth. I don't know if I'd be a Wilton guy or not if it wasn't for Charlie. I don't know if my family would have moved or my dad probably would have stayed around, but that was the owner of my dad's shop before my dad bought it. And so anyway, we don't need to get into that. I want to talk to you, Ian.
Yes.
Are you a Wilton boy?
Yeah.
Your whole life?
I've been going here my whole life, but I was born in Indiana because that's where my dad's from. That's where all his family's from. But my mom lived in Atalissa for most of her life and went to West Liberty. And then we lived down in Morning Sun because, well, my parents divorced when I was 3, and my mom married a guy when I was 7-ish. And then, so we moved down there, so it was like a 45-minute drive every other morning. So that kind of sucked a lot. But it was fine. I'm glad she never changed us schools, me and my sister. So, yeah, I've been going to Wilton my whole life. I don't live here, though. I live out in Moscow with my dad in Muscatine now.
Gotcha. So you commute to work?
Yeah.
Or school, I should say. Yeah. I thought I saw on one of your Facebook pages that you had put you went to Wilton High School and now you've committed to another college or something like that. Who is that? One of you guys already committed to a college or something like that?
Yeah. Well, we've all applied. Have we all gotten accepted?
Yeah, we've all been accepted.
Going to Iowa next year.
All three of you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you guys like bros? Do you hang out on a regular basis together? Like
Applebee's is our place.
Yeah.
We're regulars there. We go every night for half price apps. It's such a good deal.
I don't know
half
about
price
every
app
night, but it's pretty consistently.
More than most people.
Yeah.
you only got a couple years till it's half price margaritas, and then you can start getting in fights in the parking lot with people. You know, Ian, I have to give you some props though. can we bring back the mustache on the high schoolers? I just feel like the high school guys don't look as old as they used to look back in the day, and that makes you look seasoned.
You know, I've actually got 2 mustaches because I don't have growth in the middle. So I've got a little more than the average.
You have a left and right mustache. Which one's a little thicker? Is it about the same?
I think the right side, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You should just save that side.
Think so?
Be two-face Ian.
We'll see.
All right, let's get into some of the stuff that you guys are into. Grayson, you and Ian were in the play.
Yeah.
And not just the play. You've been in the play for a couple years, right?
Yeah, I've done it 3 years. Grayson's done it all 4.
Yeah. Every year.
I love the performing arts. I think it's great. There's plenty of room for sports and all the other things, but I think the performing arts is great. Even if you don't aspire to get into that down the road, it's so good to get out of your comfort zone and get up in front of a group of people and perform, especially live.
Yeah.
Like this is live right now. If I crap the bed right now, there's going to be like 4 people that see it. So it's great to have to see that. What was the play was a big deal this year, wasn't it? I feel like there's a lot of people that were talking about it.
We did Mamma Mia this year, so every other year now we do a musical, and this year it was Mamma Mia, and I did hear a lot of people liked it, a lot of people enjoyed it. So, and I know most of the cast, we were looking forward to it because it was a big one on our roster.
Yeah, I think everyone was talking about it because Mamma Mia is so popular, you know, and everyone was just excited to see what that would look like at the high school doing that. So
I don't know anything about the story of Mamma Mia. Give me the elevator version of it. Like if we hopped in an elevator and we're going to go up to the 12th floor and I say, what is Mamma Mia? Tell me, Grayson.
So basically this girl, Sophie, is getting married and she doesn't know who her father is. Her mom doesn't know who her dad is. So she looks in her journal, finds out that she has 3 possible dads and invites all 3 of them to her wedding. And then they show up and run into the mom and chaos and stuff.
Does she find out who her dad is at the wedding?
No, they don't find out who the dad is. They kind of agree that they'd all have part fathership, you know?
So the dad doesn't know.
Yeah, so there's 3 dads at the end and the mom.
Wow.
And they don't know who the actual dad is, but
So there's no payoff at the end. Unless the payoff is no payoff.
yeah, I guess so.
So what role did you play?
I was one of the dads, Sam. He was at the end. He ended up marrying the mom instead. So the daughter and her fiance ended up not getting married, and the mom and one of the dads ended up did because they were the most in love, I guess.
How many lines did you have?
A lot.
So one of the bigger roles.
Yeah, and I had 2 big songs to sing as well.
How about you, Ian?
I was also one of the dads, Bill Austin.
Because you have a mustache.
Sure.
Yeah.
I did. Have
You
a
look like you
mustache.
could be a dad.
You think so?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see.
So was it a big role?
Not as big as Grayson's because I was one of the comic relief characters, so I was only on stage 4 times throughout the show, but they were for larger portions. A lot of them were for songs too. I came out just for a few lines during the songs.
Did you go to the play, Logan?
I didn't. I couldn't make it, and it was really upsetting.
Oh, you crapped on your boys, huh?
Yeah. I'll take a look at the recorded video.
It's not the same
someday.
No.
But in general, do you think it was among the high schoolers? Was it a big deal? Was that a hot ticket?
It sounded like it. I mean, it sounded like this play was one of the bigger ones, and it's the most hyped I've heard throughout the 4 years that Grayson's been doing play, at least. So
It strikes me that it's cool to be in the play now, or the band. Is that true?
I mean,
Is it cool to be in the play?
It's fun. It's fun for sure. I don't know how people on the outside kind of view it because it doesn't get much. Not a lot of people know that it's going on.
Right.
Because there's not really a lot of hype, I guess, until 2 or so weeks before the show, and they start like putting papers up around the building.
And there's no more plays this year.
No, we have one show a year. It's normally in November.
What about does the variety show still happen? The choir variety show?
Yeah, that's what is it? Late February, I think.
Yeah, it's the end of February.
Oh, we got to plug that then. I'm assuming you guys are going to be in the variety show? Any of you?
Me and Grayson have to be for choir,
Yeah.
at least for like one group song. But I mean, a lot of other people do like individual stuff, and we'll probably do some like some group stuff, like smaller group stuff.
Are you going to do a skit? You should do a skit. Does anybody do skits? I'm sure there's some comedy skits, right?
They haven't in a long time. I remember they used to, like, I have a brother that's 5 years older than me. When he was in high school, they used to, but I don't know. It hasn't really been a thing recently.
Yeah, not since we've been in high school, but I've heard people talking about it, right?
I think so, yeah.
Talking about doing some kind of skit.
You got it. You got to do a skit. Seriously, the variety show. It's not called the musical show. It's called the variety show. Like we got to get some guys doing and gals doing some skits. Growing up, I was in choir, and I only did choir for the variety show. That was the only, and because I wanted to do the skits, and we would do. Gosh, I think Bev Ryder gave me 3 slots in the variety show. In my senior year, I got to MC it. I got to host it, which was super fun to do. And you guys ought to throw your hat in there. Does anybody actually host or MC the variety show?
Yeah, they have. I think they picked 2 people to MC, and they just have like stupid jokes in between acts. I think who was it? Was it Clifton and Owen last year?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think Clifton
I don't
for
remember
sure.
the year before.
Do we know who's MCing this year?
Not yet, no.
Can you guys find out for me and text me who those people are and maybe plant the seed? I'd love to have whoever is going to host the variety show, I'd love to have them in here and kind of talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. How does it work? How do they pick them? Do people just volunteer and write their name down? Or
Yeah, I think so. I
Yeah.
think they just, the choir director, Miss Norman, just asks who wants to do it, and they do it.
When did Bev retire? Bev Ryder. Was that even in you guys' era? Yeah. Bev didn't retire that long ago.
I think it was when, let's see, I did choir in junior high, so her last year might have been when we were in 5th or 6th grade, I think.
Bev and I had a love-hate relationship. Like, I think she enjoyed having me in the variety show because, it was some comic relief, and that's, I think, kind of the point of it. But man, we would butt heads. I'll tell you a quick Bev Ryder story. Is the choir room? It's probably not. Well, we called it the junior high area at the time, but it was like that pit. Is that still the choir band room? I'm sure it is still, right?
Like the science classrooms.
Yeah, across from there. Yeah. So we were the first class to use that whole building. It got built, and we were the first junior high class. And I remember one class, I got Bev so mad. She took one of those tall stools that you sit on the top, and she chucked it clear across. I mean, literally picked it up and threw it like we were in a WWE match, and threw it clear across, and it slammed into her office door because she was on the opposite end. And just difference of opinions, I suppose. But anyway, it was those were fun times, and I want to come to the variety show, but I want to talk to the MCs, and we got to get some people pumped up to do the comic relief. Logan, you like to shoot guns.
I sure do. I've been in trap since I was, I think, in elementary school. Started it in 5th or 6th grade, so I've been doing it since then. It's pretty.
sorry guys,
Oh my goodness.
thought I turned them off.
Time to buy some more crypto. Yeah. So are you a hunter as well?
No, I don't hunt. I never really got into that. None of my family really does it, so I never really had a person to go along with. I've fished and everything with my grandfather when I was younger, but not really big into hunting. I just shoot at trap meets and practice and stuff like that.
Are you pretty good? Come on, brag a little bit. All right. Is he good, or is he just kind of right in the middle? Is he shooting par?
That's the real reason I never went to the play. You guys have never seen me shoot.
Yeah. He's never told me that he's good.
Yeah. Well, okay. I've been in it for a while, but a lot of the people there are like coaches' kids, and they're super good. Like I'm talking, they'll shoot 100 and maybe miss 2 or 3. It's crazy. Me, I mean, I'm pretty good. I got about an like 90% average, I would say. So I mean, I go up there, I shoot around a 25, and I usually get at least 22 around there.
Isn't Carter really good?
Carter's insane.
Carter Jigman's good.
He was on the show.
Yeah.
He signed the wall, which you guys will sign here in a little bit.
He does trap too.
Yeah, he does trap too, and he's pretty dang good at it.
Is he the best on the team? Who's the best? Who's the ace?
Oh man, I don't even know with this group of kids. We got a good. I remember there was one kid. There was Cole Henning. He was the coach's kid, Mark Hennings. He was Mark Henning's kid, and he was insane. He shot like he was just so good. I can't really remember what his scores were, but I remember there was one time he shot 100 straight at state, and it was really
wow.
insane. Yeah.
Is that like did he win state, or that was a round that just helped? Is it a team thing and an individual thing when you do trap?
It is. It's a team thing and an individual thing. So you have your individual score, and that gets scored and everything, but also your squad score, because you go up in a squad of 5, and that score gets graded, and you go up against other squads like that. So basically, just you have your squad score, and then you have your individual score, and both are competitive scores.
All right. We're at the state final, okay? You have 1 clay to powder. 1.
Only 1?
You only get 1 target to hit.
Uh-huh.
And you get to pick the trigger man on your team right now for the state championship. Who are you going to pick to powder that 1 of 1 disc?
That 1 of 1 disc? Honestly, I'd probably either pick Carter or... we have another kid on the team named Speed. He's super good. He's been in it forever.
You're being nice. You got to pick one guy.
I can only pick one.
It's a clutch decision. You got to make it right now. They're about to fire that clay in the air. Who's gonna knock it down?
I'd definitely pick Carter.
There you go.
Carter was the first person I ever shot with, actually. He was, we went out there on the range, just me, him, and our dads, and that was how I got into it in the first place. He's super good. He's been in it forever.
All right, Carter, if you're watching this, you're the clutch trigger man. Way to go. Way to go. Okay, Grayson, I want to have a little bit of fun with you. Actually, I think I want to do, I got a surprise for you guys. For the play guys. For the play guys. And Logan, you're going to be the judge on who does the best at this, okay?
Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness.
I fancy myself a little bit of a performing arts person, but you guys are the up-and-coming performing arts guys. I had the ladies here, Katie actually, printed out a script, a 3-person script.
Oh my God.
I haven't read it. I don't know what it is. Katie's going to hand them out, or I guess I'll pass them down. Don't even look at it yet. Katie, do you know who's playing who here? We have 3 characters. Looks like we have Pembleton, Dylan, and Principal Smock. I'll be Principal Smock, you be Dylan, Grayson, and Ian, you be Pembleton. We're going to do a cold read here, okay? Don't look at it yet. Right. Don't look at it yet. We're going to do a cold audition read here. I don't even know what this is, and we're going to find out. Well, Logan's going to tell us, since he's good at picking the clutch man.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Of who does what. So here we go. Should I set the... Well, why don't we let Logan set the scene here? Why don't you, Logan, read the first top part of this thing. This is a 1 minute, right? Is this a 1 minute comedy? Okay, go ahead.
It says a 15-minute comedy.
Well, let's just do. Well, we can do this. It's a page. It's front and back.
Yeah.
All right, Logan, hit us with the set us up.
Dylan, as a high school student, has accidentally become an internet sensation for making a slightly inappropriate and silly video. The principal's assistant, Pembleton, approaches Dylan.
Dylan Spree, please make your way to the principal's office immediately. Mr. Dylan Spree.
I've never gone to the principal's office.
Here, scoot that forward.
I'm a straight A geek. I'm on the chess club.
Mr. Spree, we really need you in the principal's office now.
Principal Smock is waiting for Dylan. Dylan walks in. Pendleton leaves.
You wanted to see me, principal?
Yes. Sit down, Dylan.
I am Principal Smock.
Oh, my bad. That's my bad.
Dylan, line again, please.
You wanted to see me, principal?
Yes. Sit down, Dylan.
Dylan sits down.
Dylan, a couple things. I like a good gag video as much as the next person, but this is still a public school. And you can't use that language. You just can't.
Principal Smock, I had nothing to do... Wait, what language?
But. B-U-T-T.
But's a bad word?
But's a bad word. Now, if we're talking about the conjunctive but with one T, as in, I would go with you to the movies, but I don't have any money. That's fine. You can't say the conjunctive but.
Are you sure it's a bad word? But with 2 T's?
Look, I don't think it was either, but I've been flooded with emails from parents freaking out that their kids are watching a video with the word but in it. So just don't say it anymore. And change the name of the video.
But I didn't post the video.
You didn't? Oh, weird. Well, then tell whoever posted it not to use the word but. Use, I don't know, shoot. What's the word? Pembleton!
Pendleton walks back on stage.
Yes, sir.
What are we supposed to say now instead of but? Tookus?
No, that's too ethnic.
Rump?
That's too insinuating.
Of what?
Pork.
Right. Well, what is it? What do they want us to say?
The acceptable terminology that the PTA came up with was flesh mound.
Is it? That sounds more inappropriate.
I agree, sir.
I didn't know I had this many lines. Okay. I mean, I know it's not a bad word, but it's just gross sounding. Flesh mound? Blah.
That's what they want the students to use from now on.
All right, whatever. Flesh mound. Refer to your back area as a flesh mound.
Okay, fine,
But that's not even why I called you in here. Do you know why I called you in here?
It wasn't because I said but.
Dylan!
I mean, flesh mound.
No, look, despite the school's objection to the word but, we would love for you to do some events for us. You know, a couple fundraisers, stuff like that.
I'm sorry, you want me to...
I've never had a celebrity student at this school, Dylan. But back in 2005, there was a chance that Zac Efron was going to join our student body, which would have been amazing. I mean, God, the amount of press and unsolicited funds a school could get if a celebrity joins your school. Oh, man. It's mouthwatering. But then he decided to do a movie instead. Also, he's illiterate, so we really wouldn't have had to fudge his test scores. Well, we would have had to fudge his test scores, which I was willing to do. Man, I was willing. But,
Sir?
Point is, I have one now. You, the ow, it hurts my flesh mound kid. I mean, your video has already amassed 500,000 views.
It has?
So what do you say? Would you be willing to do a few events for us? You know, pep rallies, news, interviews, maybe a fundraiser, all for the sake of the school? Logan, this is where you say end scene.
End of scene.
All right, well, that was fun and weird and kind of uncomfortable, Katie, so thank you for printing out. First of all, Grayson, how do you like your new nickname, Flesh Mound?
I'm not a big fan.
But I think it'll catch. Guys, what do you think? Do you think if Grayson's new nickname is Flesh Mound,
I think it's going to catch on.
I think it's going to catch on, especially with the ladies. I think that's going to be a big hit.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, that's
Most definitely. That's great.
In fact, I think we need to have some shirts made up that say Flesh Mound. I know Flesh Mound. And you can have a shirt that says I am Flesh Mound.
You know what? I'm down.
Yep.
Let's go.
Logan, okay, I don't count.
Right.
I don't count who won this
You
thing.
don't count in this?
I don't count. I was just
Okay.
kind of the person stuck in
Well,
this.
I mean, both candidates were great in their own ways. I mean, Grayson really fit that role to a T, and Ian taking on multiple roles, that was good.
All right.
Yeah, but I gotta say, Grayson took the cake with that one.
Way to go, Grayson. Flesh Mound.
Yep. Thank you.
Flesh Mound. I love it. I'm actually going to put you in my phone as Flesh Mound.
Perfect.
If my wife sees that, she's going to be like, who is Flesh Mound? And why are they texting you back about coming into the shop to hang out? That was kind of fun. Logan, I want to hear about your cars and motorcycle passion quickly here. What are you into there? You got all kinds of stuff going. Guns, cars, motorcycles.
Yeah,
You're like a
it's
man's man.
It's a very masculine, like it looks very masculine on the surface, but
You got your flannel on. You probably chopped up some You probably chopped up some wood this morning
And
before
he's
you
got
came
Timberland boots on too.
I do have my Timmies on.
Look at him go.
Yeah.
Man, you got that nice jawline too, man. You got it all going for you.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Well, my passion for cars really started with my grandfather. He was a mechanic his whole life. Grade A technician, that man. But so he has a 54 Chevy that he built from scratch. It was a pile of metal just sitting on a trailer when he got it, and he built it from the ground up. It's an amazing car. Yeah, 53 Chevy if you ever want to look it up.
You got a picture of it?
I sure do.
You don't have to dig for it now. Text it to me. We'll
Sure. I'll text
we'll
it
turn
to
this
you.
into a reel, and then while we're talking about it, you can.
Gotcha.
You know.
Yeah, I actually took my senior photos with it. I took my senior photos with that and a Cadillac Eldorado. I'm uncertain of the year on that, but I think it's a 72 if I'm not mistaken.
Did you do the senior photo squat?
I did.
Did you do this the car squat?
I did it. I did that one with my motorcycle. But I did my senior photos with my motorcycle, my grandpa's 54, and then I did it with the Cadillac Eldorado. But that was the main passion. That was how my passion started with cars. Was I always had the Cadillac in the garage, and then my grandpa's car out at his house. And yeah, that was how the passion started. My favorite car is by far the 72 Corvette Stingray. It's a beautiful, beautiful car.
Really? Just
Yeah.
in general?
In general, all over.
That's the pointy with the waves
Yeah,
over the wheel wells. Yeah.
And it's got the pop-up headlights. I love that. I love that car. If I would do anything to have it.
There's a few of those floating around. As a matter of fact, there's a guy from town named Mike Sugar. He's got a 70s Corvette, a white one. I don't know if it's a 72. But you know what? Those cars, though, they're cool, and they're also attainable. It's not a $100,000 car, but it's still a cool car to rip around in.
It's not crazy. I mean, my grandfather, he took there was a while there where he was flipping cars. He was buying junk ones and repairing them and doing all that. He once bought a Corvette, and we were talking about taking the engine out of it and putting it in a truck I had at the time. But yeah, and nothing ever came of it. It was basically junk. But I mean, just cars like that are insane. I mean, he bought it for dirt cheap. He bought it for like $300, and to think that he could have fixed it up is insane to me.
So you're pretty close with your Gramps.
Yeah.
That's great.
Me and him are pretty close.
Good. Keep turning wrenches with him.
Yeah,
Have some fun, man.
No kidding. He's taught me pretty much everything I know about repair and stuff.
Ian, you're into cars and bikes too.
Yeah.
What's are you that passionate?
Logan definitely knows more than me, more of the ins and outs. I'm still into it though. You know, I actually, when you had Owen Milder on here, I didn't want to bring this up, but he talked about me and my car.
That was you.
Yep.
I remember that because
was me.
I was asking the guys. I'm like, are guys into cars now? And all three of them were like, meh, not really. And I'm like, really? That's kind of part of the culture, I thought. And so this is very refreshing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Owen talked about someone who had a cool whip. So that's you.
Yeah. Cool is a really interesting word for it.
Yeah.
Because it's a Toyota. It's a Scion TC. Scion is like a sub brand of Toyota. It's nothing too exciting. It's only 4-cylinder, so it doesn't go fast, but it's pretty sporty. It's a coupe. I've done some things to it. I put a spoiler on it. I just replaced a mirror the other day and put new sequential turn signals in. I've got more plans for it when I have more money, of course, because, cars are expensive. But, I mean, it's a fun little car.
Well, and cars are objective. It's art.
Yeah, it's to each their own.
To each their own. Yeah, I mean, like somebody might walk in here and be like, "Man, what's up with all the toys and the wrestling stuff?" But to me, it's kind of half hobby, kind of half art, passion project kind of stuff. And so, yeah, that's some people might be into the Scion world, and I'm sure there's a bazillion upgrades you can do to that car, right? Is there just a ton of aftermarket stuff, or not as much as you might think?
There really isn't a lot of aftermarket support because they were only in production for about 10 years, and it wasn't a fast car, so it wasn't on a lot of people's radars to make aftermarket parts for it. So, I mean, I'm looking. I'm always on the lookout for new parts.
Do chicks dig cars still?
Not really. I don't think so. Unless they grow up in like a car family. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Although I will say, to give credit where credit is due, your car sounds amazing.
For a 4-cylinder, yeah.
For a 4-cylinder, it sounds pretty nice.
You got a rap pipe on the back of it?
I mean, it's not stock. It's not a factory exhaust.
Yeah. It's like a
it's a TRD, Toyota Racing Development.
Yeah.
They make performance parts, and so the previous owner, I suppose, probably put that exhaust on, and it sounds really nice.
Then didn't you say you also probably put lowering springs on it?
So I found out that my car was lowered when I parked next to a stock TC same year, and my car sat a little lower, so the previous owner, I assume, put lowering springs on it because it's not on any kind of lowering suspension other than the springs, which isn't super ideal because it shortens the life of your shocks because they're, depressed more than they should be.
But it looks cool.
Yeah, it does look cool. It looks pretty cool, man.
All right, we're going to go from cars to plastic. Grayson, I know one of the things that you're into Marvel.
Oh, yeah.
Which is amazing.
Big fan.
And by the way, if you're into Marvel and you're 18 right now, right?
Yeah.
The whole Marvel cinematic universe was when you were like the perfect age growing up. Yeah. That had to blow your mind. Were you kind of into it as a little kid and then seeing these movies, or did you get into it when the movies started happening?
I definitely got into it at a young age. We would I remember when we would go camping in our camper, we'd just grab DVDs to watch, and we would watch the original Avengers a lot, those early movies.
Yeah.
So then I started getting really into it. And then I would watch them as they came out for years. So.
Do you collect? Do you do the Marvel cards? Are you into any of the comics? You into any of the old, action figures? Or you're just a fan?
Really. I'm a fan. I have it's technically a toy, but it's a Infinity Gauntlet. So you can put it on, and it has little rings.
You can actually wear it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
really
pretty dope.
Big, and you can move all the fingers, and
that's really cool.
Up. Yeah, it's sick.
Yeah, when you start getting into those kind of things, I mean, the collection, that kind of passion can break you financially.
Yeah.
I mean, well, probably worse than cars and motorcycles. You start getting into collecting pop culture type stuff like that, and it can put your tit in a ringer a little bit there, with your wallet. But so I figured I'd make you squirm a little bit here. We've got the original Gambit 1993 from the Uncanny X-Men. And that's right around when the X-Men came out. Can you imagine that? This is going to age me a little bit. Back in 93, Well, I would have been 12 years old, and during that time, Saturday morning at 10 a.m., the new X-Men commercial or cartoon came out.
Yeah.
New episodes, and this was like groundbreaking because the dudes were jacked, the storylines were kind of edgy, the chicks were hot. I mean, it was anything like if you were a boy from like 8 to 12 years old, like that was your jam. Like Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. was awesome, and they had to. I think they kind of had to show it at 10 because they couldn't show it earlier with all the little cutesy cartoons that were on TV. So these action figures kind of started it all with, well, they didn't start it all, but I mean, for the X-Men franchise, this was huge. And Gambit here was my favorite character. So Gambit has been in a plastic prison since 1993.
Crazy.
And these toys were meant to be played with. So I thought it would be kind of fun to have a prison break and let you, Grayson, free Gambit. You want to do a plastic pardon here this morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, like seriously, we're gonna some might argue we're gonna devalue Gambit, but for me, it's like dude has been sitting there for his whole life. We got to let him free. I think it's the right thing to do. Why don't you grab him? Give us a little bit of a play-by-play while you're looking at it. What are you seeing here?
So we got him looking cool. He's got his awesome leather coat. He's got his bow staff in here. Sick. And it looks like he has a little card in the back too.
Yeah, so we call that mint on card. Well, it's not mint, but in the collecting world, we call that on card. If you have an action figure, I think, boy, the collectors are going to kill me here. I think if it's on card, meaning you have an action figure with a collector card in it, or the card is actually the package itself. I think the card is actually the package itself. So we're not going to call this mint on card because the card is a little bit bowed. But what else you see in here? I'm getting kind of nervous that you're going to rip that open.
He has a power kick action. That looks sick. Apparently his knees can click in and out. So
Now let me ask you this. If somebody gifted you one of those, would you tear it out of the package or would you leave it in the package?
honestly, I feel like I'd be too scared to open it. If it was like something original like this, I probably would just leave it, you know, but.
All right, well, run towards your fears, Grayson. Rip that thing out. Let's free Gambit here. Let's get him out of his plastic prison. Gambit, Grayson is pardoning you. Go ahead, man. Like you're 10-year-old Grayson.
This feels really wrong.
Oh.
You definitely have some collectors after your head after this.
Oh, it's like nails on a chalkboard, too, as that thing's ripping open. Show us the card. What'd we get? Boy, the card's even kind of sticky in there. Well, so much. Oh, and he ripped the card. Oh, no, that's okay. Hey, we're freeing him. What card did we have?
Looks like we have a rogue trading card.
Which, by the way, if you were an X-Man and you could date one other X-Man, who would you date?
Probably Rogue, yeah.
Probably Rogue. All right, well, you get to keep that. You can take that, put that in your wallet, fold it up.
Yeah, now that you ruined it.
Carry that around with you. All right, what do we got here?
Okay, so double layer in here. So we got Gambit in here. Looks like his face is a little faded, but you know.
A little sunburnt.
Yeah.
Does the jacket come off, or is the jacket part of the figure?
It looks like it can come off. Yeah, it's like a kind of thin plastic, like wrapping material. So.
Man, he's free.
He's free.
It stung for a second, but doesn't it kind of feel good?
Yeah.
He's sitting there going, damn, I was stuck in here. Well, 93, that'd been 32 years? 32 years he's been in there. Yeah, let's get his bow staff out.
Piece of tape.
Guys, what do you think? Logan, Ian, is this...
It's heartbreaking.
Is it? Even if you're not into Marvel or anything like that?
There's like a sense of just morality here that just feels like it's been broken.
I would put this in here.
Boy, but he's clean, though.
Yeah,
he's clean.
It's awesome, though.
So we did this. My buddy Bert came in, and we did a Stone Cold Steve Austin from 96, I think. And then we did a Kimberly Power Ranger from the 90s as well. Mm-hmm. So Gambit's going to go with those two. We're going to keep him. put him with his friends, and we're good to go. We got some plugs here before you guys go to class this morning. One is the alumni banquet. Okay. Are you guys familiar with the alumni banquet?
Not very. I'm not.
I've heard of it before.
Okay. So traditionally, the alumni banquet is a lot of people who graduated Wilton in years past, and they come back to the community center, and it's all kind of reminiscing back in high school thing, have a couple beers, and, you know, some slideshows and some announcements, and it's very banquety, right? Well, I've been asked by Ted Maroff, who kind of spearheads the whole thing, to host the alumni banquet. And I'm like, listen, if we're going to do the alumni banquet, we're not going to like be eating pastel mints out of a bowl and sitting around, you know, watching paint dry. So we're going to turn it into the alumni show. I've actually hosted it 2 other times, but I want to complete the trilogy box set. And I'm going to host it this April. Tickets are on sale now, but I need some people that want to be part of the alumni show. We're going to set it up just like this show. We're going to bring in the couches and the chairs and the mics, and we're going to do a 2-hour live stream at the alumni show, but full of all kinds of surprises and different things. And if you guys are interested in taking part in a small role in that, I'd love to have you guys. And I want to see some of the younger folks in there, because it's going to, when I say it's the hottest ticket in town, it's going to be the hottest ticket in town. We're going to make 2 hours go by like that, and people are going to be asking for more. So if you guys are interested, I'll reach out to you on the text thread that we got. I think you guys would have a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
And yeah, let's get a group of people in there. I mean, we want the blue hairs in there, right? We want the older folks, but we want the younger folks in there. And the younger the crowd gets, let me put it this way, the more diverse the crowd gets in age, the more edgy I can kind of be, and the more liberties I will take, right, you know, while we're there, you know. And so as long as I can make a couple people chuckle, well, then, you know, everyone else is along for the ride. So that's coming up. Tickets are on sale now. You can go buy tickets at the Candy Kitchen or down at Jeff's. I think they're $25 a pop. Why don't you guys each go buy a pair, and then you can take somebody with you, you know, turn it into a date night. You can ride. That's April. We might get lucky. It might be a warm night. You can blast off on the motorcycle, or at least have the cars down. So
there you go.
I need you guys to nominate some people to come in the show here. Who do you want to see come in here? Grayson.
Oh gosh.
Logan, anybody? Let's nominate some folks.
I was glad he went first. Oh my goodness.
You guys know any gals we can have come in here? We had a couple gals come in. Amber Oin and Zeiser, Kirsten Zeiser came in, and they were great guests. They were great. But who are you thinking?
I mean, I know Amber and Kirsten already said Leela Glover. I mean, she's another super into the performing arts and stuff.
Where's Leela been? Why can't we get her in here?
She doesn't want to wake up this early.
Well, then I'll have her come in after class. Why don't we have her come in after school?
That might work.
Leela Glover, do you got her number? You going to text her for me?
I do, yeah. I do.
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
Number.
While we're talking, get out your phone and text her. Tell her that Joe wants her in on the Less Than Yesterday show. And we'll do it in the afternoon. It's totally fine. Who are you thinking, Logan?
Oh, goodness. I can't even begin to think of anybody.
Let me rewire it then. What about faculty?
Faculty?
What about faculty? Like, I had Jane in here, and Jane's just a peach. I love Jane. I'm going to have her back because I feel like we could talk for hours. But
Jane is awesome.
Who else up at that school where they might be an excellent hang?
I'd say maybe like Mr. Grunder, Eric Grunder.
I feel like, Eric Grunder or...
Eric would be good.
Or Gephardt. Gephardt would be another really good one.
Yeah, Joe Gephardt.
Joe Gephardt.
They would be some really
They're
good
great.
ones.
I'm sure we can track Eric Grunder down and Joe Gephardt down. Oh, Amber and Kirsten were telling me about a teacher they like to talk to. He's open about talking about drones and different conspiracy type stuff, and it's kind of fun.
I think that's Joseph or
Joseph.
Is
What are you talking about?
who am I talking about now?
Is it? It's not Benzinger, is it?
No.
It could be Benzinger, but I was thinking Gephardt.
Okay.
Gephardt.
I like talking about that kind of stuff too.
He was talking about drones and stuff.
All right.
At some point, maybe. I don't know. I know he likes his conspiracy theories, so.
I do too.
Yeah.
I love talking about it, but I can't talk about it on every show because it gets kind of redundant.
Yeah.
But
there's a couple good theories out there.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's lots of good theories, and I love diving into all of them. So, hey, will you guys come back? I'd love to have you guys come back to the show.
Sure.
This would be fun.
Yeah.
Let's start talking about the alumni show because it's not an alumni banquet. Yeah. Turds in a bowl. It is the alumni show. It'll be fun. I want you guys to be part of it. I want to involve as many people up at the school as I can. And I'm dying to find a musician. I need a musician. I need someone that can either play guitar or keyboard or the sax.
I play the sax.
Do you really?
He's a sax
I
man.
do, yeah.
Well, then you got to come back and do. How fun would it be if you came back and during a show, you just played us some background music the whole time?
Wow.
Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be a good vibe? Do you think you could? Do you think you could play an hour of just like just kind of tickle the reed a little bit for us?
I could probably tickle that reed a little bit.
Okay, you're coming back, Ian. You're gonna tickle the reed for us on. So here's what we'll do.
Loves tickling the reed.
Here's what we'll do. The next guest I have from the school, I want you to come up and just play us some background music while we do an interview. I think that would be fun.
All right, we'll see.
And whoever it is, maybe we'll dim the lights a little. Maybe we'll put some candles up on the table here, and we'll have a little ambiance there. I think that'd be kind of fun. Are you down with that?
Sure.
You committed.
All right.
It's on videotape right now. You
Scratch
committed.
from the record.
All right, guys, get out of here. We're rambling now, and don't lose that rogue card there, Grayson.
Oh, never.
Hey, everybody, Grayson Hartung, Logan Schneckloth, and Ian Hartz. You guys were great guests. Thanks for coming on, and we'll get some of these other people on, and I can't wait to have Ian in here tickling the reed for us. So, all right, guys, have a great day, and remember, less than yesterday.